Oh, oopsies. No, where are they going? Come back. Where are you guys going? Come back. I miss you. Mm. 10Z, what up, baby? Yo, yo, yo. Where are they going? Come back. I believe in you. It's all good. We'll be able to find something else. Yeah, there's a few things, I think. There was a few fronts that we were watching. I actually just thought they were the closest to going. Ooh, nice. Maybe we'll get a little teaser. Yeah, man. I ended up doing so much work. I finally get a little time just to get on and hang out with the fam for a bit. Maybe catch a little tiny bit of PvP. To see, I swear they were. Maybe. Let me see. We can maybe go do Luno. I think they were fighting too. But let me check this ACBXS. Okay. Yeah, see, they were just fighting too. Where's Luno? Oh, I wonder if theirs is done. Yeah, because I think they're just picking apart their tower right now. Yeah, they are. I'm gonna tell you right now, man, Luno wild. Just the fact that, I mean, obviously since the rebrand from the war, I mean, they've been putting forth like a pretty decent effort, which has just been awesome to see. Let me see, who was it? I think SSG was doing a little bit, but the MFD one was the closest one I saw. Oh, I think they are a little bit here. Yeah, maybe not too much. Maybe we'll just. Yeah, because I know Echo WAO really aren't going at it. We were just looking there. And I mean, unless BNR has regained something, maybe we'll just hang out with the MFD group because they're probably closest to popping something off. Yeah, because there's not really a lot of people even there. Or are they going out into the pass? Oh, that would have been so sick. I don't think there was anything with Dawn and Ozzy, because I know I checked that earlier. I like how it says war, and it just happens just to be just two dudes merit trading. Ain't that something? Oh, look, it's Bayheart. Oh, that was funny. Yeah, see, because they got troops, but they're just no one's going at it. Denzi, doing good, man. Doing good. I had family visiting, so that's why I didn't have a chance to stream Friday or Saturday. And then Sunday, you know, I had dropped off the fam at the airport yesterday evening because they came to visit. Ooh, look at this, dude. There we go. Look at that. We got lucky. We found something. Cool, because I just checked it on them and they didn't have anything going on. So, dope sauce. We'll hang out and watch this. But yeah, no, going good. Like I said, just, man, I was hanging out with, had some fam visit from California. And I was hanging out with them. Basically, yesterday was like my first free day. And I was just doing a lot of cleanup around the house. And even today, I had to take my 2 girls to their dentist appointment this morning. And then after that, I was just back at the house cleaning. So, and I just got done with some yard work. I was just doing the front so HOA doesn't find me. Which, again, it's not like, you know, my yard's crazy out of control. But I don't know about you guys, man, but some HOAs, again, for any homeowners out there, you know, some HOAs are sticklers. Just very, very particular. So, yeah, just basically got done doing that, just tidying up, some mowing, some trimming, pulling some weeds. Yeah, and then basically sat down. So had a tiny little bite to eat. Watched a couple episodes of this new anime show that I started. That I'm pretty excited about too. It's actually pretty good. But yeah, man, now I'm just hanging out with the fam and the community, and watching some PvP, man. At least for, you know, as much as we can get. BH, what's up? Yeah, man, just gonna hang out and watch some PvP and update some sheets. So, because I got top 25 players coming out tomorrow, and then I just got to basically just update some other sheet tabs, so that way I'm just prepped and ready to go on vids for this week, and then hopefully I can buy myself some time to invest into some additional projects, additional vid ideas that I want to dive into a little bit more. So yeah, and then I also got to check out the timing for, oh God, what is it? I got to check the timing for Final Zone. Oh, and I got to do, my God, you guys just reminded me too. I got to do the KvK prep video, the preview video for the 68 kingdoms that went into KvK. They're in Brink of War right now, so that's the G3 group. So I'll be covering G3 soon. I'm actually, damn, I need to try and do a video on them tomorrow, actually, because Fuzzy just sent me the data from the 12th. So I got some new data to play around with now. And that's all I've been doing. I've just been like, he sent it to me, or I started organizing it. And there's like one thing I have him checking on, but it's not like related to any of the main videos I do. So, but yeah, but I got to cover them because people were asking me to cover the G3 group. And like I said, I think they're on first or second stage for Brink of War, but their KvK groups have already been created. And you can see that, where is it? If I zoom out, so you'll see that here, right? So this one, right? 29 was the one-off. This was like the one-off group, I think. I think it's the one-off group. Let me double check on my sheet. Yeah. So 29th was like the one-off group they started, but these ones 30 through 37, those were the kingdoms that were in pre-war, and this is the G3 group. So yeah, so they're going in on, I think, the 18th. I got to double check the date on that. But basically I got to pull together the KvK preview data for them. And then I got to figure out who's teaming with who, because they're kind of in their diplomacy stage right now. And I imagine probably a lot of those groups have figured it out, but I have to go and ask so I could figure out kind of who's working with who at that point. No. Tizzy said, "I've never been so tired." What you been doing, bro? Oh, geez, just pulling the all-nighters. I was gonna say, man, unless you're getting a lot of action in your zone, I imagine you might have some free time as of late. Leveling 7 farms to CH16 to start farming. Oh, damn. Okay. Well, yeah, there you go. Never mind. That answers it. Mobile, what's up? Can you explain the G1, G2 thing? What do you mean? As far as like which kingdoms and or KvK groups are in each of the gens, or like how that works? Like, are you just asking, just like, can I generally define what the generation stuff is? Oh, I need to. Well, they're pushing him back a little bit now. Well, my live chat isn't working. I know that much. Oh, wow. Did I have to re-log in? Is that why I'm not seeing any chat here? Hang on. Un momento. Yeah, un momento. Hang on, I'm trying to figure this. I'm like trying to figure this. Oh, I see. Hang on. Yeah, that's me, baby girl. It's me. Okay, cool. I logged in to my stuff. Okay, well, I don't know if I'm going to see anything then. Yeah, because I'm not sure. All right. Whoa. Hold up, Betsy. All right, we're good now. Sound like I'm trying to like figure something out while I'm messing around with some. Oh God, the too frequent messages. You guys are killing me here, Smalls. Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah, I'm back now, Mobile. Sorry, so you said the classification of kingdoms is based on what? Like, what defines a Gen 1 kingdom or KvK Gen 2? So there's not necessarily a classification, just to be very clear here. So the let me see if I can actually post this. Sick Life of Zach and Cody. So I guess I'll have to show it to you on the screen just to probably make it a little easier, huh? So, like I said, there's not a classification as far as a grade or anything for that matter. The only gen stuff you'll see for heroes, you'll see like a G1, a G2 classification, right? When you look at the hero, and then obviously it'll have that number on it. But the way that I define Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3 is based on when they went into Season of Strife. So if they went in first, the first main group, I consider them G1. The second main group, G2, and then so on and so forth. So, for example, Gen 1 to me is 6001 through 6008. Gen 2 is 6009 through 6028. And then I would consider Gen 3 6029 to 6037. Any of the kingdoms in those groups. Which is why you probably remember at a point in time, I, amongst others, were advocating for a lot of the Gen 1 kingdoms to basically skip, not register, right, and go to G2. This was the group that, again, when I was talking about that, I was referring to. That's how I refer to Gen kingdoms, but it's really more about the KvK generation group based on that kingdom pool, if that makes sense. That's how I go off of it. It doesn't necessarily mean everyone else does. That's, again, if you're just kind of looking for a very easy, simple explanation on how, I refer to it and maybe some other people refer to it. It's not to say that I'm the only one who does it that way. There are others, but that would be the simplest way that I could explain that, if that makes sense. My nickname. Looking over my residuals. 214. Oh, damn. BP's pushing him back now a little bit here. All right. We see you. Cam. They're like, yo, man, we ain't gonna give Cam the spotlight all day. Yeah. Mobile says, yeah, just trying to understand the concept. But like when my server 611 goes into SOS, what would we be Gen 5? So, like I said, it really goes off the pool. So, an example would be, let me see if I could show this to you, maybe. I'm going to have to look real quick. Let me see here. Because I might have to show you the... I could show it to you here probably. Where am I at? 6017 here. I'll show this to you. This would be one way to explain it, and we can do another explanation later. So 65, right? So I'm in, this account is in 65. This is the Gen 3 pool. And usually we can also go off of dates. So an example here is that the season begins for this group on the 18th, right? And from here on the 18th, we can see that once it starts, right, then we'll figure out what the end date is. That all the kingdoms within that pool or that KvK group, but really it's the kingdom pool because they're starting at the same time and ending at the same time. That's how we refer to that. So, for example, Gen 1 will be coming out first, right? So these kingdoms here, and I think I have the dates somewhere, but in short, the first 8 kingdoms here, they're already in the FZ, right? Like things are pretty much decided. So by the time this pool ends, there will be other kingdoms added to this pool. That's why we refer to this as the Gen 1 pool. Now, the developers said at one point they would like to have 4 kingdom pools going at the same time. So there would probably be up to 4 gens. But we're just referring those as to like the KvK pool, right? Which is the collection of kingdoms that are within that pool. And so for me, that's kind of what I refer to that as. So it most likely wouldn't go above Gen 4 unless they end up doing a 5th pool that they put into the SOS KvK cycle rotation, right? And so because of that, there's a chance you would either go into maybe you go into the Gen 4 pool. I'd have to look at your kingdom number. But there's also a chance you could end up in the G1 pool, right? Just depending on the timelines. Crap, I can't remember where I was now. Was it 17? Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully that might make a little bit more sense. Once I look at the sheets and stuff, I can tell you what the end times are, if that maybe helps. Yeah, I mean, if it maybe does a little bit more, then I can maybe go into more specifics like dates. Yep. Mm-hmm. 611 goes to SOS. Yeah, I'll have to check where 611 is. Let's see. So, yeah, you guys aren't anywhere close. You said you're 611. Oh God, so this is you right here. Yeah, so you're not anywhere close. You still got to play season 2. You got to do season 3, and then once you get to pre-strife, you would enter into one of the KvK pools for SOS, right? Because anyone that's coming out of pre-strife and going into pre-war, you will get added to the SOS pool. So you still got at least you got 3 seasons before you get to the main pool, which is season of strife for SOS. Yeah, so I mean, just in short, you got a minute. you got a minute. You'll get there. But yeah, it's gonna be a minute. Yeah, I thought you might have been a little bit lower. I didn't realize it was that high. Just show it. You said, so it's not kingdom, but the whole I think some people will also go off of it based on kingdom age, but it just depends, right? Like the thing is that what you have to keep in mind is that a lot of the kingdoms will swap. So, you could say something like, kingdoms 1 through 300 are G1, 301 through 400 or G2, or you could do like every 200 kingdom. It's just I don't know. I haven't really seen anyone say like this is what the hard cutoff is, or like this is what the hard time is for each of those. But I do know some people go off of it by age. I'm just simply saying that I'm just going off of it based on the start and end timelines, right? So as long as the start dates and the end dates line up, each of those pools is what I define it as. And I only say that because to me it's just easier to keep up that way, unless there's like some universal understanding of everyone's like, oh yeah, well the first 150 or 167 kingdoms is G1, and then the next one's now. Maybe you might do it based on when Gen 2 and Gen 3 heroes were released. It's just again, if however they do it based on age, I just haven't seen anyone come out with some kind of hard criteria that I've seen, just universally recognized by a lot of kingdoms. And they're like, oh yeah, this is what we go off of, off of it. I'm pretty sure there is something out there. I don't know what that is. Yeah. Oh yeah, see, so there you go. So look what Silver said. Yeah, Silver's like, others describe server generation as server age. This way, generation describes how developed the average account is on the server is and relative strength of the server. Yeah. So again, right, that's exactly how some people go off of it. I just imagine they probably would have to, use some numbers. Yeah, numbers or something. And I'm sure some people, like I said, have probably posted it. Maybe I missed it and I just didn't read it, that clearly when some people have said like, oh yeah, this is what we go off of. But I'm sure there's something out there that people have done about that. The oldest servers would be Gen 1, next oldest Gen 2. Yeah. Yeah. And now we baby kingdom, but looks like we'll have a good KvK too. Oh, dope. Very nice. Yeah, man, if I had more time, I would absolutely love to cover more of like the pre-strife and the season 3. You know what? I wonder if season 3 is going to end up getting added just to this SOS, and they're just going to phase out pre-strife. I have been wondering that for a little bit now. Just kind of a random thought. Love how my dog barks. It's like there's no one there, bro. Twin, what's up? Welcome. Would you do a 16-16? Oh, sorry, 60-16 review? Would I do a 60-16 review? So review as far as like something dedicated for that KvK group, because I have done a 60-16. I think we've done 2 reviews on them so far in our KvK updates. So, because in that video, I think we did one for how Zone 2 went, and then we did one for how Zone 3 went, I think a couple days ago. I might have done it. I'll look at how far back it was. Dude, the violence, man, the violence. Yeah. That was pretty funny, though. Yeah, but if it's something beyond kind of just a standard run through that I've done already, you might have to let me know exactly what you're thinking on that one. Stefan, what's up? Let me grab this opportunity to tell you directly live. You're doing a great job and good analysis. I really enjoy your vids. Greets from 602 Groot. Oh, thanks, Groot. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the kind words there. Very much. Yeah, listen, you know, if you're referring to just kind of the KvK analysis and the PvP stuff, if that is what you're referring to, and maybe it's something else, but if that is it, I will say that I've been having an absolute blast doing commentary, you know, live analysis and play-by-play when the pass is open and there's war going on. Without a doubt, it has been, at least when it's really going right. Like we get the pass open, like when we did when the zone 2s popped off, and there was just so much PvP. I mean, it was just up the wazoo. There was fights everywhere. It was so exciting. And then I was able to watch a lot, and because of that, we were also able to cut up a lot of footage. Those are the things that, man, it felt. I can't tell you how good it felt to finally kind of get back to that, where I had time to watch a pass opening and then also watch the consecutive open field fights that ensued afterwards. It was so much fun, so much fun, and the fact that I was able to not only catch a lot of fights, but we could really dissect some of the fights live was so much more enjoyable. So yeah, I'm if anything, I'm glad that you enjoyed as well, because like for me, when I'm watching wars and battles, not only do I just like talking about it because I just enjoy watching PvP, like it is just a pure enjoyment for me, especially in this game. But I like talking about tactics. I like talking about strategy, at least for the areas that I'm familiar and comfortable with, right? And then for other areas that we can speak to, maybe more of the data and the stats. Like again, we can speak to things like, most used marches, most used heroes. We have some data on that, even if it is some light soft data from up to the top 202 players in the game. We are going to do something at the end of this season, and I've talked about this a little bit already, but one of the things that I really want to do, and some people have said that they like this idea as well, if we can get to it, is modifying how I did, excuse me, instead of doing the top 200 players just based on historical strength, where, I reached out to those people and I had asked them, hey, can you send me some screenshots of, your open field march set, regardless if it's 1 or up to 5 marches that you use in it. And then I mean, honestly, if I reached out to a lot more people, I could have done like multiple videos, like a lot more videos than what I did put out for it. But I realized that, one, I had the time to do it now, but at the same time, I thought, okay, well, this was great. I think for me, the challenge partly was that I probably should have reached out to a lot more people, because when you're doing something like that, I'm DMing people. So like I get the data from Fuzzy, and then I'm going in and I'm like, okay, I'm just copy pasting Lord IDs and copy pasting my, my template message. But in order to get a good sample size of responses, I have to reach out to a lot of people. And what I realized is, like, if I'm just reaching out to the top 200 people based on just historical power, that's great and all, but there's just no guarantee that I'm going to get 50% responses or more or less than that. So in those cases, I just have to reach out to a lot more. But what I thought of doing this time around, and I think what some people had mentioned as well was a good idea, is I was saying that I wanted to try reaching out to the top merit performers, the top KvK PvP performers from this season. So once G2 gets close to the end and G1 is pretty much done, then what I'm going to do, because I'll have all the data, right? Like I have a lot of the data now, but hopefully I'll have a fresh scan around that time from Fuzzy. And then what I can do is I can go in and message all of the top PvP performers. So basically I can see who the top 500 PvP performers were in Rise of the Dragon, right? So everyone that's in Season of Strife or Rise of the Dragon between G1 and G2, maybe even G3, but at least G1 and G2, I can see the top 2, 3, 4, 5, 1,000 players that, accumulated the most merits this season. And then basically what my thought was, okay, well, I'll message those people, right? So if I need to message 4, 5, 600 of them so I can get a lot of responses, I'll do that. And then what I'll do from that is I'll do a kind of meta video. So I'll do a video that says, well, here is what the season 3 Rise of the Dragon meta is for most used marches, most used heroes, most used artifacts, most used war pets, most used hero pairings, right? Top hero pairings. Just kind of scratching the surface, right? Best open field marches, etc. Because at that point, it'll still most likely be relevant next season unless you have an entirely new KvK and or really a brand new hero set that is just going to, totally, update the meta at that point. And I also figured, well, not only will it be relevant there, but it also will be helpful for people that are just starting out, or maybe they're coming up to season 3 and they're trying to figure out, okay, well, what should I be investing in now? And I thought, okay, well, let me go beyond that. Now, maybe let me try and do that every season, right? So now that's what I'm going to try and do. Because to me, I just think having that level of information and education for the community can be incredibly helpful, especially if you know that the data is coming from the top PvP performers right in the game. And I'm messaging enough of them to where we're getting a really good sample size of responses. And obviously, it would be anonymous. It's not like I'm going to name every single person. Usually all of them are. But I thought, hey, this could be something that, I think the community can really get behind, and people can find this information really valuable, because you got to think about how much money some of these people spend on the game. Why wouldn't you want to know what is the most used from the top players? And for me, I think that's one of the great things about what I do compared to others is that, and I'll give an example. This isn't like a shot fired or anything like that, but like an example is like when I see people in the rock field, and even in COD. So like in Rock, when I used to see people like Chizgul and Omni, and they still do it now, but even like Shinchi, Gecko, Dragothian, etc., like some of these guys, and they'll put a video out saying like, oh, well, hey, here's my tier list, right? Or here's my most used march. Like they'll do a video. They'll say like, oh, best open field marches, best legendaries to invest in, best open field for free to play, right, etc., right? Best rally garrison. And when I see them do those videos, and I've watched a few, and I don't know if the way they present it or the way that they collect the information is different now, but what I've always seen in those videos is like there's no data behind it, right? It's basically just their opinion on what they think, probably based on what they've used and maybe speaking to a few people. Again, maybe now when Omni and Chiz do one of those videos, they'll give a disclaimer in the beginning, and maybe they say, "Oh, well, this is where I'm getting it from," or this is how I'm factoring it. But at least from the few that I've seen them do before, it was always just kind of presented as like, okay, this is what it is, right? They just kind of went right into it, and they never really spoke about how they got to that. And so for me, again, which is fine, but the way I would rather do it, and I'm not saying they can't have, I'm not saying, people can't have an opinion, but for me, the way I would like to present it, even if I would present my opinion, right, and that's only if I obviously was fighting a lot, is because anyone as an individual is not going to be able to fight with everything, right? So like even if you're in a situation, like whether you're guns, your princess on the COD side, on the Rock side, if you're Chiz or Omni, it's not like they're over there testing every single March composition, testing every single matchup in open field, testing vanilla one-on-ones, and doing these kind of ISO testing along with open field kind of brawl testing, and then doing garrison rally testing, right? That is really going to kind of tell you one way or another outside of just kind of in the real-time battle. Because they're not doing that, like Wick Gaming was an example of someone who did stuff like that. Wick would actually do videos on the Rock side. I don't think he does content anymore, but I remember watching a couple of his videos where he was like really big on doing PvP testing like that, like just end game PvP testing, doing a lot of like vanilla stuff where everyone has the same stats and everything, and then you're just testing like against the new marches just straight up. But to not deter or deter too far away from my point, is the way that I would do something, the way I would like to present something like that is where I basically go to the source, right? And the source is the PvP players. So, when you see me do a video like that, like I did one a little while ago where we did the top or best open field marches. That was based on direct feedback from, some of the strongest players in the game. And that this is them telling me like this is what they're using. And so that data is, or what I'm showing in that video is respectfully a lot more valuable than what anyone else is really showing, where they're giving their opinion and they're not having it backed up by stats and data for what's being used. That's just how I feel about it. That doesn't mean that, like I said, that doesn't mean they can't put the video out or they can't share their opinion. But if I'm looking at like what's more valuable, I would rather hear, like, even if it's me, right? I'd rather like to see what the trends are, what the meta is from the top players in the game. Like, I feel like that information is incredibly valuable. And for me, I just want to share that. I just want people to be informed, to be educated, and to kind of be able to invest the money that they want to spend in at least a responsible-ish way, right? A more efficient and effective way, if that makes sense. That was kind of like a long rant. I didn't really mean to like go off on some tangent, but yeah. Sorry, I haven't even looked back at chat yet because I'm like doing something while I'm talking. I'm actually shocked that I've been able to multitask decently while I'm doing this thing and talking at the same time. Let me come back. Oh wow! So we didn't lose a lot of people while I was going on while I was off on my soliloquy. Thank you. I'll have to catch them on chat here in a sec. Yeah, I hope that makes sense to some people. And again, I know some people that really appreciate, you know, when I do stuff like that, because they like to know what is the most used. Like I've had people reach out to me and say, boss, I just watched this video. Like, thank you so much. Like this is going to help me plan out my investment path, like what I'm going to spend money on, what I'm going to spend resources on, what I'm going to spend heads on. And, you know, like that makes me feel good. Like you can watch something I put out and it helps you save money. It helps you save time, maybe saving resources because you're able to pre-plan out how you're going to spend and what your pathing looks like. I'll take that as a win. So like for me, you know, when I do stuff like that, I like to always be very transparent with like, hey, here's the data, here's how I collected it, and this is what we found. I just feel like that stuff. Now, keep in mind, not everyone's going to do that because that takes a lot of time. You know, you have to, I mean, you know, you're basically like a door-to-door salesman at that point, right? Like, so for someone like me, I have to go and, like I said, message everyone individually. Then I have to go through every single response and DM in game. And I have to basically plug. I got to pull and plug the information onto a sheet, and then I got to sort it. And then I got to, you know, pull up, you know, get all my analytics, or sorry, get all my number results, right, from everything. So, I mean, again, it takes a lot of work to do stuff like that. There's not really just an easy-ish way. I mean, I guess technically if I wanted to, I could try and get all the top players onto a Discord, have them fill out a form, and then that form, you know, auto sorts it and does some of the work for me. But the challenge is that not all of the top players / you know, high PvP performers use Discord. And there also isn't you know, there's not like the easy-ish translate way to do things like that, you know, unless you pay for something like a Readabot or something else, that you have a little bit more ease of access from the in-game translation system. So all in all, it's just to say that it's a lot of work, and I don't, like I said, I don't expect everyone to do it, but for me, like that's something I like to do. You know, I don't mind spending the time because to me, I find that, you know, it's a good service, and, you know, I'm putting out something that is informative and educational. It's something that can help people save time and money. And to me, I feel like that's where a lot of the real value is in. Okay, I'm good. I wonder if Laws and MFD are going back at it, man. We've been watching BP. It seems like it's slowing down maybe a little bit, but they're still going. Yeah. Okay, sorry, let me catch up on some chatters here. Zabe, what's up, man? How do we classify beta servers? I would just say beta. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know what you were looking for there on that one. So I don't know if I hit the hammer on the head or if it was too much on the head. You'll have to let me know on that one. Oh, 29. Oh, 70. Iggy, what's up, man? MFD memes in COD Discord goated. Thoughts are. I'm gonna have to read some. I did go through the COD Discord for memes a little while ago, but I haven't read all of them yet. So, or I should say I did go through all of them. I did see some of the MFD memes, but I kind of scanned them pretty quick. I didn't really read everything kind of in full if there was maybe a decent bit of text, but I did go through some of them. Yeah, let me see real quick. Where is... Dude, look, dude, Cam getting a little resurgence now, man. Coming back. BP was pushing him heavy. These MFT memes. Let me see, man. Oh yeah, they're definitely not a political guy. Yeah, see, oh yeah, sorry. Some of these are videos. So I haven't clicked on some of these. I saw this one with Tiny that Zumba posted. Crazy Bob posted something. Oh god, Gray Balls posted something. Yeah, see. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, see, like, yes, some of these I've seen. I will say this though, the ones I did think was pretty funny was Payne posted the one on SSG, like use all elixir, use all S, and then somebody posted the one on NTS against attack SSG during their downtime or attack during their uptime. Yeah. Tom posted that one. Those two I thought were funny. Yeah. Which, again, I haven't been watching. I haven't had a chance to watch too much of the level 4 pass Zone 3 invasion for NTS, because I think NTS was with A2G and they were going up against SSG, if that's right, in their Zone 3. That's what I saw. So again, I don't know. Like, and so I wasn't like, I don't know if they just didn't attack them, like they were going hard against A2G, but they just opted to not go hard against SSG. So I don't really know what that was. And then the counter meme with SSG, like, do we use all our elixir, all our RSS? Like, I didn't. And again, I don't know. Like, was SSG not really fighting them? So yeah, those are some of the things I was like, I just don't know. Yeah, I just didn't know on those ones. Are they waving? Oh, jeez. We're going 136. Yeah. I do want to see if Laws and them are going at it though again, because I thought they were supposed to be. I don't think Luno and them were doing anything. Oh, maybe they're not. Chumbeck. Okay. Yeah, maybe we'll hang out for a second. I'll look on my second. I'll look on my scout here in a sec. Yeah. Twin says, thanks. I missed those then. You're doing great. Keep it up. Thank you so much, Twins. Appreciate the love, man. Appreciate the love. Stefan said, I like you going deep into tactics on field data of alliances. I saw last time in your video that you want to do shot calling. You're really enjoying it. I would love to participate in that. Yeah. No, it's good stuff. Can I PM you in game? Yeah, man. Anyone can PM me in game. Stefan says, I played Rock for many years ago together with Roni and Flesh. My name was Scorp. Okay, cool. Yeah, man. I've chatted with Flesh a little bit. I chatted with Roni actually back when Infinity Kingdom came out, and he was testing the waters. He was like dipping his toes in that a little bit. I've talked with Flesh a little bit, just because I like the stuff that Flesh is doing with his data bot, and obviously for me, I'm like very pretty data oriented. So I like just kind of looking at what he has going on. Again, he's more on the rock side, but it is cool just to kind of see what he's doing on that front. Like, he's really heavy pushing that, and he's not, I don't think he's sponsored by them. I don't really think he would probably have the opportunity to, just given that he's like promoting that stuff. But I have to imagine he's got to be doing good. It's got to be like a decent business model, because he has a lot of people that use it, and Flesh is really kind of at the forefront for, I would say, data on the rock side. And probably, I would say, the number one resource, it looks like, for what a lot of kings and queens are using as a data tool. So, yeah, I mean, if I ever did something like that, and that's one of the reasons why, like, you don't see me ever, like, promoting any services and stuff, right? My whole thing is you know, like people know I work with Fuzzy and we do data stuff, but you don't see me promoting like, hey, come do this service thing, right? The way I always promote it is like, hey, if you want information on it, right, go here. This is who to talk to. And I also don't have any like stake in anything as well, right? So like for me, there's not really any incentives at that point. And I think that's because, you know, that was one of the things I had asked some of the CC people, like, hey, it's okay if I promote this, right? And they're like, yeah, just as long as you don't talk about, you know, anything kind of financial related, which I imagine would probably nullify my contract. Which I don't really know if it's probably not really a contract, which is more of an agreement for like doing the CC program stuff. But yeah, just got to be, just got to, you know, be, you know, use a specific language essentially. But in short, yeah, man, I love doing the data stuff. You know, that's, you know, one of my bread and butters, if you will. Mm-hmm. Doomstar, what's up, man? Is almost 10 million elixir enough for Final Zone? Do you think, BN? Yeah, man. I would say you look pretty set. That feels safe. Yeah, definitely. Definitely feeling safe-ish. Oh, is it prep? Oh, maybe it is prep. Damn, I'm like, yo, they're giving me like a wide berth on this, huh? That's your dad? Oh, geez, that's rough. Kimono, what's up? Who's that cutie on the screen? I appreciate the kind words. Oh, right here. My bad. Damn. Oh, I got debated. I thought it was me, and it's really just Kimono. Yeah, I did not make that connection. I did not make that. That was good. I didn't see that one coming. Touche. That was good. Yeah, I think I finally finished on my scout client, so I should be able to take a look and see if there's any other action going on. Yeah, I mean, it's been nice that KM and BP have been going while we've been hanging out. Nice to see there's at least a little bit of PvP still going on until we get to the main events. Well, main events, i.e. Final Zone, and then Zone 2 for G3. Because we got Final Zone for G2, and then Zone 2 for G3. Whoa. Yeah, let's do the prep. Damn, yo, they're letting me go pretty hard. 155. Jeez Louise. Beans. Like V, what's up, man? How are people not intimidated to post memes? How are people not into? Oh yeah, I probably needed, and I don't give a fuck. Yeah, dude. Listen, I'm gonna say this, and such a on topic post, V. COD Discord, and maybe this is, I don't know how it is on Rock. But I will say this. COD Discord Gen Chat. And I'd even argue memes at times, but probably more Gen Chat. I feel like it's becoming a little bit more unhinged, where mods just like let more stuff slide than maybe I would let slide on my Discord. And I mean, like, you know, there's just derogatory language, just passive aggressive insinuations, just like rated R talk at times, or, you know, just making those references. And I'm not saying it happens all the time, but it does feel like it's been happening a little more frequent. And yeah, I don't know if anyone else notices it, but I feel like I have been. And I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit too much. Is it funny to read at times? Absolutely. But is it something that I feel like, okay, maybe we're crossing the line? Maybe we're just like moving the goalposts and extending the line a little bit too much here? Yeah. And then obviously, I mean, listen, man, some of the stuff that gets posted in memes, part of me wishes they had just like a not safe for work memes channel. And I don't mean to post stuff that is specifically not safe for work, but just I feel like some of the stuff in memes is just like some of the stuff is downright hilarious. And I guess it depends on how you feel about memes and the level of censorship and moderation that they should have versus versus something else compared to like a Gen Chat. But yeah, dude, some of that stuff is intense. That is what I will say. Yeah, I bet you if I did like a top, like the top 20 most disrespectful like COD memes of all time, I bet you people would find some good ones that have been posted since like the beginning of that channel. Yeah. Like some that come to mind was Neff and Jason with the whole like baby dolphin. Like some people I think someone made like a pretty grotesque-ish meme. The one with Ma from NTS when he had the big, I'll just say erectile shaped blown up object and was making some swiper not swiping movements. Like those are some that immediately come to mind. And I'm sure there's others out there too as well. But like those are just two that stand out to me. That I could at least recall off the top of my head that were like, okay, maybe it's going a little much here now. Yeah, but maybe that's just me, right? Maybe, you know, maybe other people are like, no, boss, it's fine. It's like, all right. I'm gonna add these to this too. No. Galinka says, I was in a live interview with Flesh and Baba back then. I was like a fanboy. I sent you a screenshot of my Rock account. It was at KvK too. Okay, cool. Oh, what was the live interview about? I imagine there should be a video on it too as well. There should be a VOD if you did one live. I wonder if Laws and them are going back at it. Let's see real quick. I don't think there's anything. We can do a quick look, but I don't think there's anything going on with WAO and Echo. Yeah, no. Unless there's something up here on the northeast. Yeah, there's not. I don't think there's anything with BNR and COD either. Oh, yeah, because that's the zone 2, huh? Oh, look at that. Okay, maybe we'll watch this. Little Zone 2 action. Why not? Why not, man? We don't judge. You know, even though we're in Zone 3. It's all good. Damn, dude, does no one... Wild, man. One, two, two. Bean says, funny to watch people talk crazy. Probably makes the server harder to approach for newcomers, though. Yeah. Probably an understatement. Or maybe accurate. Maybe an accurate statement at that point. You know, it's hard. It's a fine line, right? Because I think on one hand, you know, on one hand, you have to be careful with your level of what you allow and your moderation tolerance, along with how open you are. I mean, it's the thing, man. You can still make, like, you know, let's be a little real about this. You can still make funny memes. You can still have funny, friendly banter in conversations, you know, without going, you know, let's just say over the top at that point. Those are things that, you know, those are things that you can do. So, you know, it's not like, you know, it's not like you can't do those things. I just, my worry is that Gen Chat at times, I don't want to say that it turns into like a degenerate slosh pile or mosh pit, but part of me wants just to say that it does. And I think I agree wholeheartedly there. I think that it very much can be a turnoff, and you know, it can be something that's very unwelcoming. And listen, I'm fine if you want to have, you know, if people want to have their degenerate conversations and, you know, things that, you know, may not necessarily be wholeheartedly appropriate for a public forum or a public chat. That's fine. You want to do that on the side. You want to do them in DMs. Maybe they make a dedicated channel for that. Cool. But for me, you know, my views are, you know, my beliefs are pretty simple. You know, if you're in a public space, the assumption is that you don't know, especially online. You don't know how old someone is. You don't know what their background is. You don't know what their nationality is, what their heritage is. Are they a man or woman? Are they underage or not? It's just there's too many unknowns, and part of me feels like some people do not take all of that into consideration before they post stuff. And you know, that's where, you know, that's where when those things happen, I'm just like, you know, I mean, it's just a facepalm moment, because part of me just feels like it's just a general lack of awareness, and sadly, just, you know, not really any common sense being applied in that moment. Regardless if you care or not about what you post, you should at least respect the fact that you don't know who's on the other side of that mouse and keyboard, and who's reading that. And that's all you should need to know for when it comes to like what, you know, for like what you're going to post, you know. And just the fact that it's a public space, you know. I kind of like to look at it, what if I was, you know, what if we were all outside and we were in a public group and gathering, right? Like, would you still talk that same way compared to being behind the mouse and keyboard, right? And I always think that's a good way to approach things, because sometimes it's just a matter of feeling out the room, right? It doesn't mean that you can't have some extensions here and there that are within reason, but you still should kind of approach things in somewhat of a neutral baseline way And then, okay, now you felt out the room a little bit. Okay, now, you know, maybe you could have, you know, a little banter extension here or a little something here that's extended, right? But, you know, kind of still within reason. Because again, it's a public space. You know, like I said, it's okay if people agree or disagree with that. But I hope at least people can, you know, have some level of respect and self-awareness, you know, when they post stuff. Definitely did not mean to turn that into some kind of TED Talk. V said, I literally just went to post one, got it already, and chickened out from pressing send. Do it, V. I want to see. I got to see now. So when you post it, let us know. We'll look. Is it? Oh wow! Now, wow, dude. Now they time me out. Gosh. So funny. Oh, well, I guess they ended up pushing him back a little bit. Hmm. Hmm. God, man. Yeah. And the other thing about like when I see these memes that are posted with the videos, I'm just, especially if I'm streaming, it's like I'd have to watch it first before I could even show anything. It's just like, man, like you gotta be careful sometimes. Also, is it just me or has Gen Chat just been popping off today? I just feel like there's been a lot of activity. Oh, damn, dude. Someone just got a warning. KvK's like, you've been warned once. Oh, here we go, dude. I wonder if Laws and MFD are going. Oh, God, are they going? Oh, they're not. What is this, MFD? Oh, wow. So they're just chilling. What's Laws doing? Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. So there's nothing. Nothing really going on. Nothing really going on there. I gotta go through. Ooh, look at this, dude. We got NWE and Dawn. All right, nice. Let's hang out. Let's hang out for a minute. Little minute. Glick said, yeah, it's online on his channel. He was interviewing Baba. Flesh took me in it because I was a big fan. Okay. Interesting. Hmm. It was really early in Rock when you didn't even have Drag and Drop. Oh, wow. He said, okay, but you got to have my back. This takes more courage than approaching Jason G and inquiring about potentially joining TFS. Good stuff. Good stuff. My dog, man. Yo, was that Audi? Yo, is that King Audi I just saw there on the field? It is. Look at that, dude. I don't know if that's him or not. I didn't realize he was in Dawn, though. I thought he had an account somewhere else. Oh, is this what you just posted, V? Let me see. COD. Oh, no, it's another Bastion Keep. BNR Zookeeper. Rough life. Yeah, that doesn't actually seem that bad to me. You know, everyone's clothed. Glinka says, do you remember the bug in Rock Ghost City when you was able to move your troops through cities and even could stop in any city? Let me see here. Sorry, you said people weren't able to attack you because they hit city every time. Oh, you know what? I don't think so. I don't think I heard about this one. You said yesterday I replicated it in COD. Want to see a screenshot of it? Really? Oh my gosh. Absolutely. I'd be interested to see that. Feel free to DM me in game or on Discord. Either way, that's pretty wild. But yeah, no, I don't remember that. I'm sure I could probably watch a video on Rock and see some people that were probably talking about it back then. Damn, that's intense. You know, it's funny when I hear people that will talk about bugs or when they talk about bugs or exploits, whatever it may be, right, that they find. Because I think to myself, either one, you got so incredibly lucky doing the right set of actions or the right set of moves, button presses, etc., that allowed for you to hit that. Or you were actively searching for it. Like you're actively trying to do certain things to initiate and or replicate a bug that you potentially find. But sometimes the ingenuity behind some people that find bugs and or are able to replicate. Listen, I feel like I gotta tip my hat to some people, man, because some of the stuff that some of these people find bug wise and the stuff that they're able to replicate is just wild. And even though, once, depending on what it is, when some of these things are found out, sometimes they can really wreck KvKs and PvP experiences. The people that are just grinding those out and trying to find them is just, kudos to the hustle. I will just say that. Kudos to the hustle. Yeah. Click says, done. I sent it to you in game. I can show you when you're not in stream. Okay. Yeah. No, sure. Is it something that you think? Is it something that you think other people know about, or no? Not necessarily. Maybe you think it hasn't caught on yet. I mean, just because again, if you're able to replicate that in COD, I have to imagine that could potentially spread like wildfire. Ooh, what we could do though is update. I gotta update my free-to-play sheet real quick. Oh no, sorry. This is on my master list. I gotta update this. You know, I think some people were saying I needed to add in, I think, merits. I can't remember what they said for the free-to-play peeps. I have to remember I'm going past. This guy. He just does not care. Yeah, I asked other thing, click on my truth. He said no, only city pop-up. Oh, jeez. Patrick, what's up, man? Add gem farming. Oh, yes, thank you. I think that's what someone said. Was, and I need to look back at more of the comments, but I think someone had asked me about that. Or mentioned that in some of the comments when I said what I was going to do for the top peeps. Let me see. Do I need to add in gem farming? Maybe I could just remove the KDA, maybe, huh? Let me see what that looks like if I add in gems. Oh, no, it still works. Okay, gem still works. So that should be fine-ish, I think. Yeah, is this... Okay. No, I think we're good. I think we're good. Cool. Yeah. Sweet. Let me come over here real quick and remove this stuff while we get to hang out. Yeah, I'll just remove and then I'll go back just so I can get all this stuff done. Oh, crap. That's why I had to... That's why I had to keep it on the screen. Dang it. Ah, it's all good. Mm. Oh, I finished. Nice. And now I just have to add people to the list. Part of me feels like I need a third monitor. One day. I almost wonder if I could, but I just need to. No, you know what? Because I would need to buy a bigger desk. I have actually been looking at buying a bigger desk too. Part of me feels like I need to, because it would just help out so much. And then just get like the thin top-down monitor for the chat. Ooh, I just realized capturing gems is probably going to be hard because I just realized that with the screenshots people are sending me, they'd have to scroll down, which means I would need to get 2 screenshots from them. Huh. Yeah, I feel like that's probably going to be a no-go. Now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, as much as I'd love to do that, it's just like that's a lot to ask of anyone. Especially because I'm already asking for a bunch of screens. My whole thing is I'm trying to reduce the amount of screens. Like I want to keep stuff kind of bare minimum. Yeah, I'll have to think on that one. Glinka says I put in your Discord COD chat. Okay. Let me see. Interesting. You know, what would be cool is if you could do a video, but from the other person's perspective, where they're the ones trying to click on it. Yeah. Troops in the objective, you can't click them, yeah. Yeah, that could be rough. Ooh, look at that, dude. Looks like Don and NWE are opting for a... Oh, I see they're going... Ooh, look at this little transition that we're seeing here. Box, what's up, man? This zone has been the most action-packed for SSG in a long while. Fighting A2G and NTS. Spoiler, we coming for the main course. Nom, 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 nom. I hope you would be good, sir. How are you doing? Doing good, man. Doing good. Just hanging out. Finally being able to sit down just for a little bit. Just kind of get a little light short stream in today. I wanted to try and go a little bit earlier, but we I was just so busy, man. I think I was telling people I had my family visiting from California, so uh, yeah, man. I don't know if it looks like I got tanned, but we went out to this farm here in Georgia where they do things like strawberry picking. They got a corn maze. They got a bunch of activities for the kids, and we did that. And apparently, they said like my back might have got like my upper back, maybe a little bit, got a little color. I didn't really get burned or anything, but I don't know how like my face looked because my family didn't say it was anything on my face. They were like, "Oh yeah, your back and your neck just got like a little tanned," because it wasn't like it was hot. It was mid high 60s, but it was sunny. So you see, got a little color. Nice, nice. I'm happy to get a little California tan then in that sense. Yeah, so it's funny because I did go and look over their box to see, and we did that a little bit before. But I imagine again the zone's been open for I think a couple days now, so probably most of the action might have already died off. I did go and look, and unless it's just downtime for everyone, just to see if NTS and HUG were doing any fighting against SSG, but I didn't see anything. Yeah, I would have loved to catch some action and some fighting between those alliances, but maybe it's just bad timing for me right now. No win, what's up, man? Hello, guys. I'm from YSS 357. Man, welcome. Always nice to get some YSS peeps in the chat. Glinka says, I do vid tomorrow and send Discord. Okay, awesome. Please, thank you. Deleted, took like 15, 20 minutes. I'm not made for this shit. Maybe next time we'll aim for half an hour. All right. Touche. Box of the Nas been hectic. SSG hasn't slept, to be honest. Really? You said because our roster's rotating up times. So okay. I guess I just missed some of the action. Like I said, I know it's been open for a little while. I have on my sheet here for you guys. Let me see. When did it open for you guys? It was. Yeah, you guys opened on the 12th at 9:27 a.m. So it's been 2.5 days so far. So yeah, again, not to say I'm expecting action, full on action 3 days in. By any means. Yeah. But don't get me wrong, I would have loved to catch a little PvP between the groups. So I don't know if it's just dying out now. It's kind of getting to low time. Maybe everyone's just kind of like, okay, let's just prep for final zone, or maybe we'll still get a little bit more. Yeah, V said we have a few good strawberry farms and vineyards open to the public to pick fruit. It's a nice, yeah, man, absolutely. I first off, like again, man, I'm really big on my fruit and veggies, and so. But when I haven't really done a lot of strawberry picking until maybe a couple years ago, and I don't know, man. I feel like there's just something different about picking them fresh because you just get to look for like the ones with the best color, the best feel. Texture, etc. And like you just know, like you're picking winners, right? Every time, or at least most of the time. And I remember we did it a few years, and we just had buckets full of strawberries. And yeah, like we did a couple different dishes with them. Like we did some strawberry smoothies. I sliced some up one time, and I did it like how my grandma did it, which is where like she would slice the strawberries out. She puts them in like a metal container with a little bit of sugar, and you just let that sit overnight. And then we did like some strawberry, not like a pie, but kind of like I don't even know what I would say, kind of like a strawberry jello. So yeah, man, there's a couple things we did, but yeah, dude. Sharp race is the bomb. But, you know, the kids really like it. I think that's really what it's more about for the kiddos. Yeah. I missed the 2v1. Man, I know. I didn't have any time. I was with the fam. I was hanging out with the fam all last week. And when the passes opened Saturday, I would have been streaming. But when the passes opened Saturday morning, for me at least, I should say my time, we were out at the farm. So, yeah, unfortunately. Rebber, what's up? Hi, I'm new here. Who is the best lines in the game so I can show? Rebber. I think in all of that, we have about 8 hours of quiet time. Oh, so there's been about 8 hours recently of downtime. Okay. I'm a smart T4, so SSG is the best. Well, Pikachu. Chris, what's up, man? Another snowstorm here in Minnesota, man. I'm over it. Oh, man. Yeah, I remember you telling me, Chris, about the storm you were driving through last week. And I think I was asking if you were still driving through watching the stream. And then you told me, like, nah, I'm home now. And I was like, okay, no, that's good. Because that would have been pretty nuts if you were watching while you were driving through the snowstorm. That would have been pretty wild. Remember, I think the Alliance I am now can easily dog walk SSG, to be honest. Ooh, shots fired. Okay. Yeah, man. Chris, like, good memory. Yeah, man. I remember. Listen, if you got me engaged and we're chatting about stuff, and you know, and we have, you know, some slight conversation, I feel like my memory is a little bit better. You know, especially on the streams where we're having some nice back and forths, and you know, if we're talking about some things for a little bit, probably at least a higher percentage chance of me remembering. I'll say that. Yeah. Box, are you guys anticipating more PvP? I need to see where you guys are at on my scout. Let me double check real quick. $40. Okay, yeah, let me see here. Damn, dude, they've been going at it right now. Jeez. I'm actually pretty happy we caught this when we did. Yeah. So unparalleled, right? Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude, wild stuff. Final zone for G2 opens up in 3.5 days, which is, so that'd be Tuesday morning, all right, Wednesday, Thursday. Wow. So it looks like maybe Friday morning is when FZ's gonna open for G2. Okay. Not bad. Yeah. Maybe, you know what? I'll see if maybe I can. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Maybe we can take some time off for that day. Yeah, I'll have to see when it gets closer if maybe I can. Because like for any of the big zone opening stuff, yeah, I'll have to take a look. You know what? I'll have to look through all the dates. Yeah, 10, 5, yeah. Okay. I'll have to go through all the times real quick and see how all the groups are looking, because swords into plowshares is probably where everyone in G2 is at right now. And then unparalleled bravery. Yeah, once that finishes. Okay. Yeah, so it looks like it's probably going to be Friday morning to Friday evening for a lot of the groups for Final Zone. That's going to be sick, I hope. So, yeah, dude, maybe we'll try and YOLO Brick Squad 420 it and all day stream. I'll have to see if maybe I can get the day off. Yeah. Because that could be massively fun. So much fun. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah. Visa storms sound cozy from all the way here in Australia. Australia reality is probably very, very different. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. When EAS comes, we'll 3v1. Tell SSG to get a bit more stronger so they can experience hell from the Penguins Alliance. Jeez. Penguins are our weakness now. You should have seen some of the world chat in our KvK. So random. Oh jeez. No. Chris is like, man, I just want to get home to do COD. Yeah, dude, sometimes I feel that. Sometimes I feel that. Tell TSGN that River is about to bully you again. I almost should. Oh man. Ooh. There's like 4 of them. BN check echoes R4. You mean there are 4 members? Sorry, is that what you mean? We found out HUG loves city hopping boring. NA 2.0. I mean, at this point, why not? Just keep it going. But we're trying to taunt A2G to come out and play. Check DMs. Oh, jeez, you guys, man. Yeah, was that in Gen Chat? Jeez. Some people. It's been like this for 3 days. Bit of smack laughter. A few people banned. Really, jeez. In global, oh my gosh. You know, it's so funny. I wish, you know, I shouldn't say I wish, but it would be funny to catch it in real time when everyone is just smack talking each other and is going back and forth, and then we just open up world chat and then just like chill. Just watch the feed go. But it can be difficult sometimes because like you got to catch it right when it's starting. You know, or maybe shortly after it started at the latest. But yeah, no, that could be fun. From the Lions Look DMs, it worked. Oh yeah. Oh, are you guys about to be? Are you guys about to go now? Let's see. Let's check. Look DMs, it worked. Oh, they're going. Look at that. We caught a little action. Sweet. Look at that, man. We got a second win, little main event. Thanks for the update, Bucks. Look at that, man. Catching some good PvP. However long it might be. I mean, NTS does have to walk a while, to be fair, because they haven't built up super close to A2G. Repper says, BN, what KvK are you looking forward to see? Honestly, probably the, you know, any gosh, where's that one group? Hang on. It's I think it's 6016. Or 14? Is it 14? Yeah. So I think 6014, absolutely. That's with BXS, AC, Dawn, NWE, AC, OAH. That one mainly for the reason that they, in their KvK, and they're the only KvK that I know of, the only like top-ish, a strong KvK, to be more specific, that has agreed to no Bastion usage in the KvK. So that alone kind of puts them at my top. Beyond that, I would say any KvK that is going to have a fair and balanced matchup going into the FC. So again, if that ends up being if that ends up being the, like, if we get, I will say probably maybe secondly the BDO Echo, because I really just want to see how the 2v4 plays out in the final zone, but that's really only if we get the full 2v4 in the FC. Secondly would probably be 60-10 this group, but again, that's only if we get a 3v3 in the FC. If it doesn't end up being a pure 3v3 and one side is, you know, not at what their full strength could be, then I mean, sure, could it still be fun to watch for a little bit, but you're always going to kind of have that sour aftertaste. Absolutely. So, you know, it's almost kind of like a poor man's hype if it plays out that way. I think those three are probably the ones that, you know, I'm really looking forward to. You know, I think that there has been some renewed energy. I mean, even the 6011 group with BNR, Zoo KOV, EDSV KOD, like that group has had some really good activity. The Luno group has been interesting. Like the Luno OO group has been, because part of me, and that's in 6012, part of me feels like they've had moments where the activity has been really good, but then they've had a lot of downtime in their zone 2s and zone 3s once the level 4 pass is open. So it's, part of me feels like it's hit or miss. Like you just don't know if you're going to get some good action, right? When the FZ opens. So like for me, that's kind of my only worry there, right? Just because I feel like that one, I just feel like it's a little more 50-50 at that point. Yeah, I'd say those are a few. I mean, MFD and Loss has been pretty good to watch. I mean, they've been fighting a decent bit. Their group seems like they'll probably get, some action. I know BXS and AC are still kind of going at it at their pass. I guess the thing is that, quite a few of the groups have potential for there to be some good PvP. I think some more likely than others, but I think a few of those ones, those first 3 or 4 that I mentioned. But like I said as well, as long as the matchup for up to maybe all the groups with six kingdoms in them are able to make it to the FZ, where we get up to all the kingdoms there and we can see kind of those balanced fights play out, then I'll be excited. And that's probably something I'll run through once we get, a little bit closer to the FZ opening up, so I can just, so I can kind of take a look and see. Where are they? Where is NTS? Is this them? Oh no, sorry, they're over here in the red. I forgot. But yeah, in short, once we get a little bit closer, I'd say maybe tomorrow, probably at the earliest, where we can see how the final zones are playing out, and then, which KvK groups, because that's the other element here. And that's the thing that I think a lot of people aren't really talking about. I don't see this as a focal point in that, in that we're going to be able to get the best, creme de la creme that we can get. And that's only because people need to look at how the zone 3s are going to play out. If we get good, if no one is getting zone locked, especially for some of the big KvK groups, and we're going to be able to see those initial KvK matchups play out in the FZ, dude, I'm locked in. I'm sold. Like the hype will be real. But if there's any KvK groups where some people have been zone locked, and let's say it was a 3v3 and now it's going to be a 3v2 in the FZ, or worse, a 3v1, or worse, everyone's been zone locked out, it's just that's boring to me. Like I could care less about that. It's lost all of its potential excitement at that point. I have to imagine, not only as a spectator and a viewer, but also as a participant and a player there. I mean, sure, right? Maybe you got a decent bit of zone 2 action. Maybe you got a little bit, if that, of, level 4 pass, zone 3 invasion, cross zone 3 action. But I mean, FZ is where it's at, man. FZ is where people will be able to ultimately fight to their heart's content, right? It's the final boss. It's the crescendo. That's what we want to see. Everything besides that is an appetizer, right? That's not the main course to me. And that's what I really hope people can kind of be sold on is, it's a lot easier to participate and to have a lot more engagement when you know that you have other people there to support you. And that's kind of the idea behind when you get to the final zone and you have multiple people there being, i.e. your allies, and they're able to fight with you. Like that in and of itself can be such a motivator, something that really engages, galvanizes the troops to go out there and fight. It's a lot different than just fighting one-on-one, your kingdom versus another. So, but like I said, we'll have to take a look and see how they're playing out. Like I said, I'll probably take a look. I don't know if I'll have time tonight, but definitely tomorrow. Yeah, definitely tomorrow we'll take a look and we'll see how those are playing out. because I'm going to have to go through them anyways so I can see when the passes are going to open. But yeah, that'll give me a little bit better of an indicator, because at that point, once I have the timings down for when level 5 passes open, I'll be able to check and see, okay, well, you know, and then I can maybe prioritize the order as well. And maybe we can even do like a final zone preview video for the G2 groups, because I got the data pull from the 12th. So maybe we'll do something like that too as well. Maybe from there I'll rank the groups that I'm looking forward to watch the most. Boxes free Meritos. Really? Yeah. Probs A2G and TS together, the world chat is going a little crazy. BN, I told everyone in 6009 KvK that you find their final zone boring. Yeah. I again, you know, not sure if it will be or not. I think, like I said, as long as, you know, as long as up to everyone is going to be able to make it. You know, I mean, maybe 6009 could still have a decent FZ even if one kingdom doesn't make it and it's a 2v3. But I very much would like to see, you know, I very much would like to see the FZ with the 2v4. Like I said, I think at minimum I'd be okay with the 2v3, but we'll have to see. I mean, last time I checked, I think GG was getting pushed in their zone 3, so I don't know how that's going to play out over the next couple days, if they're going to have a shot at making it to level 5 pass or not. Maybe. Boxes A2G builders blocked their lifeline. I'm looking forward to 6009. Okay. River says GG will not see the final zone. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's why it's important, you know, because that's the thing is, you know, people need to realize that when the KvK is starting and we hear about all these matchups, like I said, and this is what I was saying earlier, is that, again, it can look good on paper. It can be an ideal matchup, right? Once Brink of War is finished. But the matchup is only valuable and meaningful if everyone makes it to the FC. And, you know, sadly, sometimes you're seeing diplomacy matchups based on starting position and ensuring that they have a higher percentage chance of making it to the FC. And because of that, sometimes that can influence a matchup from not being the most balanced or the most fair it can be, because some people are thinking about, well, how do I protect myself to make sure I have a higher percentage chance of not getting zone locked out of zone 3 so I can make it to the FC. And as I've said before, this problem, which it is a problem, could be solved by simply opening up the level 5 pass before the level 5 pass. The level 5 pass before the level 4. You could also just swap the passes. Have the level 4 pass be the one that goes into the FZ, and have the level 5 pass be the one that opens up for the cross zone 3. Right? Like, this is not a difficult fix, but that is something that absolutely needs to happen. And if it's just a matter of compensating by making zone 3 shorter, by one less Auger Stone chapter, that's fine. I don't necessarily think we need to be in Zone 3 that long. Zone 3 is not as big as Zone 1. It's probably about the same size as Zone 2, maybe a tiny bit bigger, right, give or take. But it's not that. The width of it is longer than the length, or I guess the width, going wide is longer than the length bottom up. So it's not as though it takes as long to flag from the level 3 pass to the level 5, right? As you probably would have to do to the level 1 pass in starting Zone 1. So, or I guess it would be the level 2 pass. So again, that's what I would like to see. And I'll keep advocating for that because I just think that it's the right play. It doesn't make any sense to me that they allow for people to have their Zone 3 invaded and for what was initially discussed diplomacy-wise to kind of go out the window at that point. Or at least it could. So it just sucks to see. Nice to see Luna getting some action in, though. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, also, I am probably... Also, I have to remember, too, I got to get to bed a little early. I need to try and get to bed by, like, 10:30 tonight because tomorrow I am going to be starting my... crap, what is it? Oh, yeah, tomorrow I'm going to be starting my... I'm finally, I should say, going to be starting back up. Going to be starting back up with my CrossFit stuff. So I'm pretty excited. I'm going to be waking up. I think I'm going to end up going to like the 7:30 a.m. class tomorrow morning and basically trying to get back into my CrossFit class stuff that I was doing before. But now finally finding time, and also I figured a way to help me go to bed early. I guess / earlier, but yeah, basically latest I have to go to bed, I think it's by 11, something like that. So I could wake up at 7, but try to start getting in there around 10:30, 10:45. I'm so excited. Oh, it's fluffy. Kirito, what's up? Yo, yo. We're just watching Noir do Luno things. Or is it Luno do Noir things? Ooh, they're back at it. Nice. Luong, what's up? Hi, did NTS lose? I don't know if they. I don't. If you mean Zone 3, then no. Them and A2G are still fighting against SSG, but SSG is slowly pushing them back in their Zone 3 territory. BDO and RAC is crazy with the Bastion fight. Yeah, you know, I haven't had a chance to watch kill over 20 million troops on the single, really. Yeah, I'm not sure if they're still. I'm not even sure if they're still fighting. I know they were earlier, and I tried to go and look. I think right when we were there. Oh wow, look at that, dude! They're still fighting at the. Oh, look at that, dude! Wow, they're still fighting. Look at this. Damn, they are still going at it. Oh, maybe we'll watch a little bit of this. I didn't realize because we checked earlier. I didn't see them fighting. Maybe it was just a downtime where they were prepping. Good says if BDO can hold, there's a good chance that Echo and BDO can win the KvK. Interesting. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one. Because with where they're pushing into there, I mean, BDO already has this entrance. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they'd have to make it. Yeah, because Well, we'll see. Unless GG is trying to push to the pass, but it doesn't look like it. If they're trying to enter in there, I guess they could. But I thought they were still fighting Echo a little bit here. I don't know, unless they've just stopped. Because this is like weird to me that Echo hasn't tried. Oh, I guess they have something going on here, huh? Yeah, I guess kind of weird to me that Echo hasn't been fighting back with them. I mean, I know that they're also fighting WAO, so maybe. Oh yeah, see, look at that timing. Look at this, dude. So Echo is pushing them right now. Yeah, I guess that would absorb and take up a decent amount of the attention and engagement on that side. So that way it's. But if that's the case, I wonder why GG isn't taking advantage of this. See, that's the thing. Like, if you're WAO and GG, why are I shouldn't say why are you not communicating, but my expectation would be that they would be communicating, and WAO would say, okay, look, we're going to push them here, or say something like, hey, Echo's pushing us now. Go ahead and build more flags. Try and get to the level 4 pass, and then you can hit BDO from the back, right? And they can 2v1 with RAC. At least as it pertains to the level 3, to zone 3, right? GG is still here, but I just don't know if they're pushing. Oh, I guess they are a little bit, right? So yeah, look, they're pushing them back right there. They're pushing. Okay, yes, looks like they are disconnecting some flags right now, but it's not like this territory is that meaningful, because it's not like BDO's making it to any level 4 passes. I mean, yeah, you should be removing this, but if I'm GG, my priority should be let me get to this level 4 pass, cap it, and then start pushing BDO here, right? Because you got 3.5 days to make something happen. That way you could maybe alleviate some pressure, or you could do some timed push. It pushes if you send like all cav, maybe you do all flying, whatever it is. You could do timed pushes with RAC where you can send in a bunch of troops while RAC pushes, giving us some temporary leaving, or you just go ahead and start pushing from here and pushing them on this side. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I would have imagined, like I said, I don't know. Maybe this is GG's first opportunity to actually get free and start maybe within the last 30 minutes or so, right? But part of me feels like it's been a little bit longer than that. I just would have anticipated them doing that a little bit sooner, especially because if GG's not going to push here to the level 5 pass, they arguably would have a better chance of pushing into this zone 3 and making it to this level 5 pass here while they push BDO this way. And if them and RAC could 2v1, then now you got a better shot at GG making it, and maybe they even zone lock BDO out. It's just, if I'm GG, I feel like I would have taken this pass a lot sooner, or at least what seems to be earlier than at this particular moment in time. Because Echo is probably not going to have to worry, right? I mean, they basically have 2 zone 3s all to them. So, yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see how that one plays out. All right, fam. We're at about 2.5, almost 3 hours now. And again, there's not a lot of action going on as much as I would love to stay on and hang out a little bit more. I do got to get off so I can stretch and get ready for tomorrow morning. And hopefully, once I kind of get into my routine, we'll be okay going a little bit later into the evening, especially if there is some constant action that's happening. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me for this welcome back stream for this week. Again, because I know we missed out on Saturday night and Sunday because I had family visiting. So Monday's our first shot. We'll be trying to stream, if depending, but tomorrow, it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday night. And so, yeah, hopefully over the next couple of days, we'll be doing that as well. We got some awesome vids coming out this week, along with some new stuff that we're working on. So really excited for that. Thanks for tuning in. As always, if you guys do want to get information on when we go live or we have new content that's coming out, there's a pinned chat message for a link to the Discord, and then you just have to head over to the Reaction World channel to get notified for those. That's it for us, right? Thanks for hanging out with us, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, afternoon or evening, and we'll catch you in the next one. Take care.